Hello, 11th class. Today we are here for chapter number 3, elections and representation in India. As all of you know that India has adopted democracy, and there are two types of democracies generally: direct democracy and indirect democracy. Uh, and in a democracy, especially in a direct democracy, which is a pure, or you can say direct system, where we have popular self governments. Huh? In other words, you can say that in democracy, all citizens take direct part in democracy, in the process of making law. So, direct democracy is basically based on the principle that people should be involved in all the decision makings which affect them. So, for that, elections one needs to conduct, and election is the मेन यू कैन से फंक्शनिंग जो इसको हेल्प करता है इलेक्शंस डेमोक्रेसी को. इलेक्शंस के बिना डेमोक्रेसी यू कैन नॉट से दैट वी आर फॉलोइंग द डेमोक्रेसी. नॉन डेमोक्रेटिक इलेक्शंस और डेमोक्रेटिक इलेक्शंस में इफ़ वी फाइंड द डिफरेंस, like in non-democratic elections, as we have in China, only communist party is there, so single party is there and they only contest the elections. Their civil liberties or the freedom of speech and all that is not protected. But whereas in direct democracy, on the other hand, such freedoms are provided. Voters, they have no threat. They can independently go for the elections. They have their electoral choices, and they can participate in the elections, which are generally held after a proper period of time. Okay, they are free. There are free and fair elections in such a system. Now we are here to discuss about the election system, how the election commission functions in the country to conduct, to supervise, or to plan all these elections. So the very first subtopic which we are starting right now is the election commission, the composition of election commission. Well, after independence, when we were about to have first general elections, in 1951 we had first general elections. There was first task was to conduct, to have a commission. So the constitution says that there should be a commission. Commission must have a chief election commissioner, and there must be other election commissioners. These number may vary from time to time. The president may appoint or may change the number of election commissioners. When any other election commissioner is appointed, the chief election commissioner shall act as the chairman of the election commission. Now at present we have a total 3 members. One is CEC and 2 election commissioners. Now the question arises, who makes the appointments? If we talk about CEC and other 2 commissioners which we have right now, they are appointed by the president only. ठीक है. And the president may appoint the regional commissioners also, those who generally assist these ECs, election commissioners. So this is the composition. We have 1 CEC and 2 commissioners, and president can also appoint regional commissioners, those who generally assist the ECs. Okay. Now if we talk about the term of office and the condition of service, generally the election commission is appointed for 6 years, or for a term of 6 years. And if the CEC commissioner or the other commissioners, they cross their 65 years of age, then also they have to vacate the office. So जो CEC हैं और जो other commissioners हैं, they are getting the salary which is equivalent to the salary of the judge of the Supreme Court. And if we talk about that if the CEC or the other commissioners differ in opinion, जो मेजॉरिटी मीन्स जो वो मैटर डिसाइड होगा जो मेजॉरिटी के ऊपर बेस्ड होगा, द ओपिनियन विच इज़ बेस्ड ऑन द मेजॉरिटी दैट विल बी द फाइनल डिसीजन. दैट मीन्स CEC or one EC or both the ECs or either way it can be. So this was the general introduction about the election commission and the composition. And next we shall be in the next video we shall be dealing with what are the powers and functions of the election commission, which is one of the important questions of your this particular chapter. Thank you.